If you're anything like me, you may have gotten into this business because you love the work that you do. It's so much fun, whether it's designing, strategizing, it's just a challenge that you really enjoy. So you decided, I'm going to go into business for myself. I'm going to start doing this for other people. This is going to be great. But you didn't necessarily think about the other side of business that requires a totally different skill set, which is lead generation and figuring out where to find all your next clients, right? And so that's what I want to make sure that we talk about here a lot. And we're going to do that today by talking about how to get your portfolio to sell for you. So if you are building up your portfolio, you can put it together in a certain way that's going to help you use that portfolio really as part of your sales team, so it does a lot of the selling for you. That means by the time a potential lead comes to you, they already know a bit about you, they understand the value that you bring to the table, and they're already eager to work with you. They just want to have that final conversation. And so that really makes a very, very big difference when you are talking to potential clients. So here I'm going to give you some specific strategies that you can use when putting your portfolio that sells together. And then we're going to look at some actual real agency website portfolios so that you can see these different elements in action and what they actually look like. So hopefully that will help you put your portfolio together a little bit easier. Now, the first thing that I want you to remember when it comes to building out your portfolio and how you are laying it out is that this doesn't have anything to do with you. Don't talk about yourself. Don't mention yourself. This is all about that potential client. This is about the previous clients you've had and what happened when you worked with them. So really, when you have a potential client looking at your portfolio, what they're asking themselves is, if I were to hire this person or this company, are they going to help me get the result or the outcome that I need? That's it. If your portfolio, when you look at it, come at it from the perspective of a potential client. If it doesn't answer that question, it is not going to sell for you. So you really have to make sure that your portfolio is talking about a couple things. One, what's the problem? When these clients came to you, what problem did they have? That helps these other clients identify with those that are in your portfolio. Like, oh, I have that problem too. And then what was the outcome? You don't even necessarily have to talk about the type of work that you did. You might have done email marketing, Facebook ads, and SEO and web design, but that doesn't matter. What they ultimately care about is not the vehicle, not how you got them to the outcome. They just wanted to have that outcome. And they would take really any method that you could give them in order to get to that outcome. So you've got to be talking about those results. So essentially here we are talking about a transition. Client A came to us. They had this problem and they wanted to be over here at point B, and we helped transition their business to this point where they really wanted to be. And then you can go into, if you want, here's how we did it. And this doesn't have to be long or elaborate. These prospective clients don't have time to read paragraphs and blocks of text. They want to get the gist of what happened and is this also going to work for me? Now, we're going to look at some of these portfolios, and some of these are from bigger companies, and they have a lot of examples in their portfolio. First off, and one caveat I'll add here, is that this has nothing to do with you. Do not take this personally. Don't internalize this and say, oh, well, they've done so much more work than I have. There's nothing I can do to compete with companies like this. None of what they're doing matters to your business. You can be completely successful. You will be completely successful despite anything that these other companies are doing. What we want to look at is, if we have high income companies, how are they using these different strategies in their business so I can, even though I'm just getting started. It took me a long time to figure out how to add all of these into my portfolio. It didn't come to me that I should be doing this in my portfolio. So this took me a lot of time. So this is why I want to put this together for you, show you this, so you can be doing this now and not years from now, okay? So don't worry about what it is that they're doing. So by looking at these portfolios, keep in mind, more is not better. Okay, these prospective clients only have so much time. They don't have time to look through 50 projects, 100 projects that you have. So what we want to do is we want to give them the best results, and that only. It doesn't matter if you have worked on 10, 20, 50 projects. You don't need to include them all. A small handful could be fine. You could do great with 2 or 3 examples in your portfolio. And when you pick the ones that you want to add, you're looking for two things. One, which of these best represents the ideal client that I want to have? Which of these is most likely going to look like the type of client I really want to work with next? You want to include those, okay? Because if someone else comes in and sees someone like themselves, a business like themselves, they're more likely to stick around and learn more about you because they believe, okay, well, they help someone like me, so they probably can help me too. The second piece of this is that you want to display the portfolio items that you generated the best results for. Okay, this is why we don't need everybody in the portfolio. Now, you also want to include call to actions. Now, hopefully this is something you're doing on all of your web pages, but you want to make sure that if someone's like, hey, this actually seems like this could work, I want to go ahead and reach out, or I want to hear more from this company, that they can do that right there. So make sure to include a call to action so they can reach out to you if they need to, and they don't have to go searching for it. Every time you want to make it as easy as possible for them. Now, I bet when you're thinking about putting your portfolio together, you're like, hey, I should just put this over on my portfolio page. But make sure that you are taking your portfolio items and sprinkling them throughout your site. So that way, anytime a visitor is on your website, no matter what page they are on, they have the opportunity to see a portfolio item and the results that generated anywhere. This could be on the home page. This could be just as a block within a blog post. This could be on a sidebar, but something that's quick and easy that they can see that shows them results, and then they can click through if they want the more detailed version. And the last thing I'll mention before we jump over to the computer here and look at some actual examples is that think about what you want to call your portfolio. You don't necessarily have to call it portfolio, even though that's what a lot of people and companies choose to do. You can also choose something like solutions or results, which I tend to like better, or even case studies. And the reason I like some of these better is because these really describe what the person is looking for. A portfolio is more representative of a person. This is about me. This is what I can do. Where someone coming to you is looking for solutions or results or outcomes. So those are great words for your portfolio. So let's jump on over to the computer now and look at some actual agency portfolios so you can see some of these different strategies in action. So hopefully that'll help you incorporate them better into your portfolio. All right, let's take a look at this first one here. This one, as you can see, it lists out all the different projects they have. Again, you don't need to have all of these, but notice that some of these have some very big numbers below them. This is what people care about most. They care about leads, customers, and sales, right? So here, this is talking about 110% increase in total site traffic and 118% increase in organic search traffic. If we go down a little bit, this one talks about 540% increase in phone calls and 11% decrease in cost per click. Now, this I think is actually more powerful than the first one. Everyone wants more traffic that sounds really good, but at the end of the day, not all traffic is created equally. So they might be trying to highlight their biggest numbers. I'm not sure here, but this is more powerful because businesses need more phone calls, right? Those are leads. And that gives them a much better opportunity to close more of those leads. So essentially, this case study, without anyone knowing anything else, they don't know what services they offered, they don't know what the problem was, they don't know what the original numbers were, they don't know anything other than that when this business came to this company and they hired them, they were able to increase their results, their phone calls, and decrease the cost that they were spending on ads. That's huge, okay? So same thing, we're seeing here 300% increase in conversions, 16% decreased in cost per click. So these are our big numbers here. 46% increase in total site traffic, which sounds great, but this really sounds awesome. 40% increase in sales revenue. I mean, every business wants that. So those are the ones I would really be highlighting up top. So if someone wants more information, they can click through to any one of these and they'll get more detailed information. But without having to do that, look at those big numbers right there. Now, this business, this is their homepage. They're talking about revenue already. That's great. But as we scroll down here, they keep talking about more numbers. Numbers are always good. People like numbers. Did I already pass it here? They talk about here a particular case study, like this one, for instance. They're highlighting some of these. They're scrolling. $32,000 in marketing spend generates $800,000 in revenue. 400% growth in revenue in 9 months. These are scrolling probably too fast here. We'd slow that down, but they're talking about big numbers. But this is on the homepage. So if you jump over here to their services page, just about web design, they do the same thing. They're talking about their services, but now they're featuring a case study here and saying, hey, well, this particular retailer generated $2.5 million in revenue, but they only spent $100,000 on our services. Now you might be thinking $100,000, but if you get 2.5 million from that, well, that doesn't sound like anything. So you see, don't pay attention to the numbers. Don't worry about what their results are. That doesn't matter. Scale it back to what your results are or the types of businesses you're working with. That could be completely different than these guys. Take away the points here, the strategy behind what they're actually doing here. Now, if we look at this one here, these are some good call to action. Right here, we're on a case study, but they have a I'm ready button. So as soon as someone sees this, if they see the case study, they like it, there's a button there for them to click. This is a very good example of how to visually lay this out. They tell them the services without writing it in a boring paragraph. Very quickly, the objective. Here's the problem we were having. And then after they worked with us, here's the results that they got. Here's the outcome, the solution. Very quickly, here's the numbers. So these are the big important numbers people need to see. 1,800% ROI in revenue. 57% increase in engagement. These are big numbers. And then down here again, contact us. So they have that call to action at the top and the bottom. That is great. Now, lastly here, we have this website, Big Agency. They have a lot of different services that you can click on depending on what you're looking for, but not all clients know what they're looking for. So, they know the results. They want more leads, customers, and sales. They just think they might know how to get there, but maybe not necessarily. So this is what I want to look at. But see, real quick here, they lay this out differently, but you can see increased sales from your existing lead pool with lead recovery. This contractor did, and they salvaged 232 dropped leads with the lead recovery services. Okay, so this is saying here is the outcome you can experience, and here is the outcome that this particular company experienced. Okay, increased revenue with all in digital marketing services. This HVAC contractor did, and they see a 15-to-1 ROI with their digital marketing services. So you see flooring company sees a 242% increase in their leads, specifically from SEO. This is going to walk through how this electrical manufacturer went from $362,000 to $2.8 million in online revenue from digital marketing. So again, ignore the numbers here. Pay attention to the strategy here. So hopefully this has helped you get a better idea of the elements that you can start incorporating into your portfolio. If you have one already, this is a great opportunity to be able to go back and look at some of the numbers you may have created. You might not even realize some of the impact that you've done. If you don't have a portfolio, that's okay. Knowing this now is going to save you a tremendous amount of time, because now you're able to focus on what's going to be most important in your projects, so that you can start generating results sooner and be able to display them in your portfolio. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, you'd like me to create more videos like this, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you'll catch my next video, and I'll see you next time. Take care.